It's Friday, the 5th of March, and here is your construction and demolition flash briefing. The government's Free Ports initiative is to drive regional expansion. Dump truck manufacturer Bell is eyeing an autonomous future. Engcon has upgraded one of its tilt rotators. And the British Safety Council has apparently lost the plot. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. Please stick around to the end of the show because I can feel a bit of a rant coming on. My apologies for coming to you an hour earlier than usual, but I'm off to get my COVID jab today. And even though I currently have no plans to leave this little bunker that I'm sat in, I don't want to miss my slot. Before we get onto the news stories in greater depth, I'd like to say a very happy birthday to singing and songwriting twins Charlie and Craig Reid of the Proclaimers. The pair are big demolition fans, apparently. In fact, they've been known to walk 500 miles just to watch a demolition project. And according to one of their spokespeople, they'd happily walk 500 more as well. We'll be right back after this.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.
Now, just one other quick point before we press on with the news headlines. Just before I came on air, I heard from the team over at UK Demolition Jobs. They've just posted a heap of new jobs that you can check out over on LinkedIn or right here at facebook.com/UK Demolition Jobs. And they've also created a new CV template that you can use when applying for a new role. I'll post a link to that in the description to the video below. Now, let's take a closer look at those news headlines. If you watch or listen to our monthly business briefing shows, you'll know that one of the recurring themes is that construction remains heavily London-centric. But with his announcement of 8 new free ports earlier this week, Chancellor Rishi Sunak is looking to boost a number of other regions as well. During his budget speech, Sunak gave the green light to Freeport hub plans at East Midlands Airport, Felixstowe, Harwich, Humber, Liverpool City region, Plymouth, Solent, Thames and Teesside. The free trade zones are designated areas where the normal tax and tariff rules don't apply. This allows goods to be imported, manufactured and re-exported without being subject to checks, paperwork or import taxes. The wide package of tax reliefs also apply to purchasing land, constructing or renovating buildings, investing in new plant and machinery and on employer national insurance contributions. Streamlined planning processes and government funding will also boost redevelopment and promote regeneration and innovation. Sunak said the move would stimulate construction and transport links, bringing big regional benefits. That's fantastic news for the construction sector. And I would imagine, given the location of some of these, that's also likely to mean more work for those in the demolition field. Articulated dump truck manufacturer Bell has committed to a driverless future, saying that it will work in collaboration with specialist and third-party suppliers to offer true autonomy. According to Bell's ADT marketing manager, Nick Kyriakos, providing autonomous ready machines will be part of our core business in the future. But in terms of sensing and guidance systems, it makes sense to partner with market leaders and innovators, as we do with drivetrain, hydraulics and electronic technologies in our trucks. At the same time, Bell wants to provide a vehicle that can be fitted and controlled with a guidance system from any of a number of manufacturers with the easiest integration. Autonomous applications are industry specific and require surveying and guidance by an industry expert. We want our customers to be able to choose a guidance solution that they're most comfortable with and that can be fitted to all the machines in the work cycle. Given the guidance system, or keeping the guidance system independent of the OEM, gives customers the flexibility to run a mixed fleet and benefit from the efficiency and productivity that it provides. Engcon. Tilt rotators continue to be a flavour of the month, and Engcon, one of the pioneers, has announced that the EC226, the second largest tilt rotator for excavators in the 19 to 26 tonne weight class, now has a more powerful lifting hook that is approved for 8 tonnes. The upgrade applies to the directly attached tilt rotators. The more powerful lifting hook can handle 3 tonnes more than the previous model, and with a larger diameter, it can hold more robust chains and lifting straps. The EC226 upgrade applies with immediate effect, and the 8-tonne hook is already in production and delivered as standard on all directly attached EC226 tilt rotators. Let's take a look at this ridiculous and embarrassing news story. from the British Safety Council, which has taken against a government advert that encourages people to work from home. The advert urges the nation to stay home, protect the NHS, save lives, with the strapline, "Every online meeting is making a difference." And at first glance, everything appears to be perfectly in order and politically correct in the advert. The lady in the photo is attractive, but not in any way sexy. She appears to be relatively dark-skinned, hinting perhaps at an ethnic diversity. And her laptop carries no branding. Nothing for anyone to get excited or uptight about, right? Wrong. According to the British Safety Council, the advert, and I'm quoting, inappropriately uses a picture of a woman sitting on a sofa cross-legged using a laptop. The British Safety Council is therefore urging the government to withdraw this advert immediately, as it implies that people working from home should be working from their sofas. This shows a complete lack of understanding around health and safety, the musculoskeletal conditions that can arise from a poor work setup, and the wider impact on worker health and well-being. With a global pandemic still raging outside, you'd kind of think that the British Safety Council would have bigger fish to fry, really, wouldn't you? This isn't rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. This is putting out slippery floor signs just as the ship sinks below the surface. And this story comes to you from a press release. In order for it to have made its way onto my desk, someone must have had an issue with that government ad. Most likely, they took that grievance to a boss or a superior, and possibly even to a committee. And rather than saying loudly, "Bigger picture, people," that boss or that committee summoned a scribe from the PR department. And that scribe, upon hearing details of this heinous act by the government, should have screamed, "You cannot be serious," in true John McEnroe style. But instead, they typed up this utter tosh of a press release and expected someone to actually take it seriously. And sadly, this isn't an isolated incident. A few years ago, I received a press release from a major UK construction company, and I've got to be honest, I can't remember which one it was, because I thought the thing was such contemptible shite that I've just kind of dismissed it from my brain. But apparently, someone had done some research that had found that flat bootlaces were less of a safety hazard than round bootlaces. Think about that. Someone on a wage had gone to their boss or their superior and said, "I would like to carry out some research into which type of bootlaces are the safest, and I'd like you to pay for it." And at this point, the person with the bootlace fetish should have been given their marching orders. But no. Not only was the research funded and allowed to continue, it was published in the form of a science-based guidance. And I have a theory for all these things. And my theory is that these things are dropped in at the very, very end of a meeting, very, very quietly, just as everyone is desperate to pack up their belongings and go home. And weirdly, I reckon this is also how you go about getting planning consent for a hotel in Las Vegas. So picture the scene. "So, you'd like to build a new hotel on the Las Vegas Strip, would you? Tell us more." "Well, it will have 3,500 rooms, 14 restaurants, 4 theatres, and its own zoo." "Will it have a casino?" "Hell yes, it'll have a casino, a massive one." "Sounds good. Is there anything else I need to know?" No, don't think so." "Great, then planning is approved and I declare this meeting adjourned." Did I mention the fact that it will have a fully functioning volcano outside? Right, enough of my rambling and my ranting. I need to go and get my COVID jab. Assuming I don't have any kind of allergic reaction or find myself being controlled by Bill Gates via 5G, I'll be back here again at 10 a.m. on Monday morning for another breakfast show. And that is not all. Monday marks International Women's Day, and if all goes according to plan, I'll be back here again at 6 p.m. on Monday evening with a live interview with Jackie Miller of Miller Groundbreaking. For those of you who don't know, Jackie was a woman in construction long before it was fashionable to call for women in construction. Although I can't be certain, I'm fairly sure that Jackie will also be the first person with an MBE to grace the Demolition News live stream as well. But until then, Have a good day. Have a great weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Wish me luck with the jab, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for watching.